David slid a custom-made microchip into the designated port, and just then, an artificial intelligence construct stirred to life back on Earth. It was a perfect biological replica of his own form. This technology served as a vital bridge for deep space explorers, permitting them to remain with their loved ones even during missions spanning many years. Everything seemed flawless, until one evening while he lay in bed beside his wife, David suddenly caught the sound of a disturbance on the ground floor. He gripped a heavy bat and paced tentatively into the main living area. A cluster of intruders stood waiting in the shadows. They belonged to a radical sect that believed this technology defied the natural laws of the world, and they had arrived with the sole purpose of ending its existence. Before he could even defend himself, they overwhelmed him. A blade tore through his arm, yet no blood flowed. Only cold mechanical components were revealed. Suddenly, a crushing strike to the skull forced his consciousness back into his actual body, millions of miles away. He desperately tried to reconnect the chip to save his family, but the window of opportunity had vanished. The fanatics were determined to discover if his wife and children were also mechanical decoys. Through the sensors of his restrained duplicate, he was forced to witness the intruders take the lives of his entire family. Moments later, they tore his synthetic vessel into pieces. The agony of seeing his world shattered in real time was more than his mind could handle. The voyage was intended to span 6 years, yet they had only completed the second. His crewmate Cliff learned of the horrific event. He attempted to offer solace, but David remained trapped in a cycle of grief. David felt hollowed out, as though his spirit had died alongside his wife and children. Meanwhile, Cliff's own neural link remained fully operational. He still possessed the ability to return home and embrace his spouse. Observing David's mental state deteriorate, Cliff reached a difficult decision. After consulting with his wife Lana, he offered to let David use his personal link to visit Earth for a short time. Lana gave her consent out of pure compassion. Moments later, Cliff prepared the station and engaged the transfer. David suddenly feels the cool breeze and the firm earth beneath his soles once more. The sensation is so profound that he struggles to suppress his tears. Lana leads him through the quiet woods, where the dappled sunlight serves as a painful reminder of the life he can never reclaim. He begins to weep before he can find his composure. Once back on the spacecraft, David expressed his deep gratitude, claiming the trip had restored his will to live, and that he was finally beginning to feel like himself again. Cliff suspected nothing, and continued his regular visits to his duplicate on Earth. But when Cliff returned from his next session, he found David occupied with a sketch. It was a detailed rendering of Cliff's private residence, drawn flawlessly from his memory. That is when David proposed a favor that his partner could never have anticipated. What exactly is he asking for? Tell me your theories in the comments, and subscribe for part 2 because